You're still watching Sunday Express, and tonight we're looking at, what we are doing as government as well as private sector to ensure that children are safe when it comes to matters of online. Right now we're focused on digital transformation, and it has not come without its challenges. One of them is how do we ensure child protection and safety. Tonight, taking us this conversation is none other than Eunice Kilundo, who is a child protection specialist at Child Fund Kenya. Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Accompanied by Mwambi Mong'are, who is the Deputy Director, Department of Child Services. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making time.
Thank you.
June 8th, the Day of the African Child. The theme is around ensuring that children are protected within the digital environment, so to speak. But let's start off with the statistics. We have been pushing for digital inclusion and transformation. What are the statistics when it comes to exposure of children, when it comes to safety? Let's start off with Madam Eunice. Give us an overview of how the environment looks like for children.
So the latest study that has been done on online child protection or issues that are affecting children online, which is called the Disrupting Harm Report, indicates that more than 67% of children in Kenya are engaging online. So those are very alarming statistics because children as young as 3 years old are being given access to phones, and the worrying thing about that is that they are engaging online unsupervised.
Unsupervised. So the issue is not getting them online, but the issue is the exposure and the lack of supervision while this is happening. Exactly. Now, as the Department of Child Services, Mr. Mong'are, then what inroads has government actually made to ensure child online safety?
As a government and in our directorate, we have come up with plans.
Well, it seems, let me interject kindly, sir. It seems you're having a bit of a sound glitch with your microphone there as it's being adjusted then. Let me just throw the same question to Madam Eunice Kilundo there. In your capacity as a child fund, what have you done to ensure that, limit the exposure, especially to, children when it comes to safety in your capacity?
One of the glaring gaps in protecting children online is ignorance of the caregivers. You will hear a caregiver say that I don't know features in my phone. Every time I want some complex to do something complex, I call my child to do it, and so that indicates that the parent is actually helpless in terms of supporting their children against harm online. And so Child Fund has strengthened communities' capacities to protect their children online in terms of creating awareness on the online dangers that are there for children, so that parents are well aware on what are the dangers online and what is their role in protecting children online. Over and above that, Child Fund, through the Safe Clicks project, which is funded by End Violence Against Children, is implementing a program, a 3-year grant, in which we are strengthening systems, so to speak, for child protection, where we are supporting the government to come up with guidelines and standard operating procedures to ensure that the online child protection system is strong enough to be able to ensure that children are protected online.
Mm-hmm. So as an organization, you are working with communities. As you've said, you've pointed out to an issue, the missing link there, and I like where you've come from, is that as caregivers, as persons within community ourselves, we seem far removed when it comes to matters of online safety. When it comes to creating awareness, as a private sector, I would say, within the value chain, do you think we are doing enough to actually drum up support, for a collective approach towards child online safety?
No, we are far from doing enough. For example, in the industry, there's need to put safeguards and adequate measures to make sure that children are protected online. One day we were engaging with a child, and just for the child to help us understand what problems they are experiencing in terms of exposure to indecent content. And over the COVID period, that child just told us, I used to get my mom's phone and vitu zinajileta. She's just minding her own business, trying to do her homework, and things pop up. And very indecent for that matter. And so there's nothing, something is being done, but certainly not enough.
Not enough, and especially within the home setup. Now, I'm sure, Mr. Mong'are, your sound is okay, but we want to know, other than putting up a policy and a regulatory framework, we have seen entities like the Communication of Kenya coming up with an online safety program for that. But what other inroads have been made to ensure that we have online safety, and are Kenyans aware, especially if someone is a victim, as a parent, as a child? Where do I seek redress?
Thanks, Ma. I think the issue of digital revolution is here with us.
Yes.
We like it or not, as Kenyans and as Africans, as a continent, and the whole world. It's here with us. The way Madam Kilundo has put it, the issue, you can see the reach of internet connectivity is very high in Kenya. That's by the study which was done in the year 2021, which indicated 67%. Now things have improved. That was during the COVID period. Things have improved, and that number will be higher than even 70%. Access to internet. As a government, we have developed a national plan of action to tackle online child sexual exploitation and abuse, because it has, from that study of the disrupting harm, which was done by the civil society in collaboration with the government, we came to realize that there is a need that we come with a plan on how we will tackle this issue. And I think the main challenge we have as government and as Kenyans, parental responsibility.
Parental responsibility.
It's a very big issue. Most parents have phones which they don't know how they are being operated. They are being operated by children. And when the children are operating these phones, as I was coming here, I was talking to one of my colleagues, and a parent, he was telling me, it is very difficult to control these children. They know more than the parents. So what's going to happen?
Good question.
These guys, when they have these gadgets,
that they do more than we do as adults.
But then going to war, the devil fears to war.
But then the question is, when it comes to digital literacy, how much are we targeting grown-ups? Because it has been introduced within, this learning institutions, but I have not seen a program, unless you tell me today that we have a digital literacy program that is targeting adults.
I think I see this because when you talk about the issue of literacy levels in Kenya, when it comes to the adults, there are some areas where you find literacy levels are very high. People have not gone to school. In the first case, what you call the simple literacy skills, they don't have them. Okay. So can you imagine them going to go to the digital world? What happens? Because first of all, you must have the simple skills before you go to these digital skills. But as a government, already we have a campaign. We have managed to reach around 33 counties where we have a campaign we call Spot It, Stop It. Wherever you see any child facing any kind of violence, it can be digital, it can be offline, you stop it immediately. We started this campaign from 2020, but we were affected by COVID, but still the campaign is going on, whereby we are saying any kind of violation, any kind of abuse, whether physical, sexual, emotional, neglect, whether digital, whereby in the new Children's Act, you are asking about the law. The law is already there for the first time since independence. Now, I think it's the first law, the Children's Act of 2022, whereby the clearly has separated the issue of grooming.
Yes.
Remember, for one to engage another person, the person has to be prepared. The way people prepare for an exam, even in the digital world, there's a lot of grooming going on, whereby you find young girls, young boys are being groomed by the perpetrators from the other side, whereby they send photos presenting their young people when they are the elder, when they have already manipulated these young people, at the end of the day, they will either be sexually molested, digitally. Sometimes you have heard of children, young children move from one place to the other. They met through Facebook.
But then, Mong'are, the question is, we have had, you know, a spate of these incidents is actually coming out and getting reported. But the perpetrators are seemingly, you know, untouchable because of the digital aspect of it. You know, it gives you this kind of obscurity that you do not know who I am, I have a pseudo account. Then how do we ensure that those people who are behind those accounts, you know, exploiting this particular loophole, are brought to book? Do we have cases where we have these people prosecuted?
Data is there. As a government, under the Director of Criminal Investigation, they have established a unit called Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Protection Unit to make sure that our children are safe in the digital world or in the digital environment, whereby there's a lot of work which is being done. But as it is now, they have 2 offices, one in Nairobi, one in Mombasa. Remember, we have 47 counties, those are already in 2 counties. So they are still expanding. But remember, we are dealing with human beings who are always ahead of whatever the investigators are doing. But a lot of things have happened. The Director of Criminal Investigation has a lot of information about it. If you go, you will marvel the kind of work they are doing. What they have managed to do. I think this work, our country could have already planned. They are doing a lot of work. Those guys at that unit.
Now, as we come to a conclusion, we are looking at important dates in the next 2 weeks. We are looking at the Day of the African Child that is going to be celebrated on the 8th of June, as well as the 16th, where we're having the international celebration, you know, on the same. Madam Eunice, what is the importance of marking this celebration, and have they played a key role in ensuring, you know, that we tighten, you know, the policies and regulations that ensure child safety from your side?
Yes, indeed, it's very important. The theme of the Day of the African Child is child rights within the digital environment, and this cannot be overstated, because we know that children, the online risks for children are real, and so the theme is so timely in this day and age when all these, children are being exposed to all these risks. And so during this Day of the African Child, we are amplifying our voices about online child protection. We are telling the world, indeed, that children, there are risks online, and everybody has a role to play in protecting children against online predators and other risks online. This day is going to, the launch of the Day of the African Child is going to happen on the 9th of June in Garissa, and the D-Day, which is the 16th of June, we are going to have the rally in Busia. And so we are calling upon all stakeholders from all ends. All of us have children, all of us engage with children, all of us interact with children in one way or the other. Let us not look at it like the role of the government. Everybody has a role to play to ensure that children are protected online. There are so many benefits online, yet we know that there are equally more dangers online. And our children are so innocent that they need to be guided around engaging online so that they reap the benefits and stay away from the dangers online.
I think you've just summarized an executive summary of this conversation. Just 30 seconds, Mr. Mong'are, what should we look out for as we look at these days, the 16th and the 8th of June?
On 9th.
Yes, 9th.
On 9th is the launch, the way Madam has said, the launch will be in Garissa County.
Yes.
Remember where Garissa is, on the border of Kenya and Somalia.
Yes.
The rally day will be in Busia. The rallying call is, let us protect and care for our children in wherever place they are. Unless if we don't do it, the repercussions are dire, and we lose our generation. And the internet is here with us. Dear Kenyans, let us be very aware what our children are watching in those electronic gadgets.
Exactly.
Failure to do it, we are losing it. And remember now, because of the virtual, we are on the virtual world, even they are using these gadgets to do their homeworks.
Yes.
But whatever they are doing, can they do it with the parental guidance. And if the parent is not aware of us, they can get some people. We have so many people who are aware about it,
to
so
build
that at least, and if possible, because I know you can put the passwords, but these guys are clever than us, and I always tell on board. These days when a mother is conception begins, life begins at conception. When that child is in the womb of the mother is on WhatsApp, is on social media. So automatically, by osmosis or by division, the science I read about 36 years ago, when this child is born, is already in the digital world. Do we like it or not?
I mean, we are also being registered on the digital platform immediately you get to the world.
Yes.
I like what you say, Madam Eunice, as well as Mr. Mong'are here. We'll be looking forward to those particular celebrations at a time when we are talking about digital transformation with our panel this evening, actually making a rallying call to as a guardian, as a word, as a parent. When you see it, or rather spot it, and stop it. You're still watching Sunday Express. We take a quick breather. We'll be speaking matter sports in not too long.